Okay guys, this is going to be my video on your melee weapons. So I'm going to be showcasing all of the possible weapons and all their tricked forms. So this is usually the first weapon in the game unless you take Hunter's Axe or Threaded Cane. It is the Saw Cleaver. Its short form is this, and its tricked out form is a elongated version of it, which allows for a larger swipe. If you're dealing with crowds, the smaller one is for smaller, more concentrated, serrated damage for any beasts that you come up against. Now, your next weapon is a play on that, but both sides are serrated, and its tricked form is pushed out but straight. So instead of swipe, it's a... and this one's the general same as the Saw Cleaver when untricked. Now, your next two weapons... are these. So you've got your Hunter's Axe, another one of the three starting weapons, which can either be a normal axe or a tricked out dual wield axe. Now there are multiple moves I could show you about all these weapons, which I'll be doing in the following few videos, but I'm just showcasing the weapons for now. Now this, as always everyone calls the pizza cutter, is the Beast Hunter safe. It starts out as the long tricked out form of Saw Cleaver and gets pulled back into the short form. Although it's not serrated, so it doesn't do as much beast damage, it does a lot of kin damage in respect to the Saw Cleaver. Now I haven't fully upgraded any of these, or most of the weapons. I've upgraded Saw Cleaver, Boom Hammer, and Tonitus, as well as Threaded Cane. Now this weapon is the Threaded Cane. Either you can have it in cane form and swipe like a blade, or you can have it in whip form. However, whip form doesn't have a charged R2 attack, so you'll never be able to do a proper visceral with this if you try backstab. Now, this is the Beast Cutter. It's kind of a play on the long form of the Saw Cleaver, but instead of it tricking back to small form, it tricks out to a whip like Threaded Cane. So it's kind of a mixture of the two.
Is something wrong?
Now, another blade is this one. You only get it at the end of the game though, so what I had to do to get this one and actually play normally was kill Germain, but have the Moon Presence kill me, because I ate the 3 umbilical cords. I'm still in NG plus though, but I did have this weapon before I ended the game. And it tricks from a blade to a scythe. The scythe has much larger reach and will help you reach and kill crowds, while the blade is a lot shorter and helps you do single damage. Now, your Blade of Mercy you get from Eileen the Crow, either by killing her or by doing a full quest line. Now, this blade is special because it's a normal blade, but when you trick it out, it's a dual blade, and the more you hit, the faster you actually start hitting until you get to your 5th hit, and that's your fastest melee speed. But it really does rack up easy rally when you use it a lot. Next weapon is your Church Pick. Normal straight thrust blade until you trick it out to the pick. The pick does a lot less damage but stuns the guys really easily. So this is really good for the stuns and allowing for viscerals. Now your Kirk Hammer, either the normal blade, the thrustable blade, or the hammer, which has a dual charged attack combo, which is very deadly. In the beginning, without any upgrades, it does up to 535 damage, and that's early game, no upgrades whatsoever, on 10 strength, or no, on 16 strength. Now next weapon is Ludwig's 2 blades. So this is the blade that the hunters made to resemble Ludwig's blade. It's not actually his blade. The reason they did it like this was because they wanted it to look like his blade. His blade is actually a great sword, so it's not a normal short sword or long sword. And its tricked out form is the big blade that you use as normal Ludwig's, except it's magical and it shoots a wave, but does use a quicksilver bullet. So you can see the resemblance between the two great swords, except this one isn't magic and isn't Ludwig's actual blade. Now the next few are Simon's bow blade. Now as you can imagine from the name, this obviously turns into a bow, but leaves you with a little dagger to fend off any melee range characters. And this one, from the funky name, you can't really tell anything until you trick it out. It becomes a gun. Now, the Chickage and the Rakuyo are, well, the Rakuyo is a double blade. It splits into two, one dagger, one normal, and the Chickage is a blood-based blade. So you stab yourself, you bring it out full of blood, but it keeps your HP depleting as long as you have the blood on there. So when you take it off, your HP now normalizes and doesn't deplete anymore. Now, the rifle spear was kind of a rip-off of the funky named one. The hunters who couldn't get that weapon named this the rifle spear. Just turns into the spear of a rifle. So now this weapon, although it looks like not much, right? Now, when you trick it, it gets shorter, but your charged attack is insane. It does mass damage. It's about as strong as the hit from the Kirk hammer. And it's such a small, easy weapon to use. Now the next one, actually two of my favorites. This is the boom hammer. The reason I like it, imbued with flame, and charge attack murders anything. Mainly beasts, because the flame's excellent for killing them. Now you're gonna have to re-trick it every time you use the flame. But when you do re-trick it straight after a charged attack, you actually hit someone with the flame and while you're tricking it out. Now, your whirligig saw, one of the fun ones. This weapon does mass damage because it keeps the spinning going, so it actually hits them about 3 times when you do a charged attack like that. As you can see, it stays spinning on the ground. Now, the Tonitus is your electricity weapon. It's like a Tesla coil or a Croftian generator that you use in a science lab, except it's been put into weapon form. Now, I'm not too fond of the Logarius wheel because it looks flippin' stupid, but it can work in certain instances. When you imbue it with the souls or the arcane, as some people say, you can actually do a lot more damage that way. But more arcane and less of the actual normal physical damage. Now, your bloodletter, I had to farm 600,000 souls on NG Plus to show you guys this weapon, because I had 12 blood tinge when you need 18. So it was a mission, but I got it done. Now this weapon's like a little mace, and when you trick it out, it minuses 20% HP, but imbues the weapon with blood. And it gets huge. I've actually never seen this tricked out, so this looks awesome. Holy cow, I'm keeping this weapon. They're nice. And it becomes two-handed, so unfortunately you can't use your other weapon, but that's absolutely fine when it looks like this. Now, let's switch to the amygdalin arm and the beast claw. Now, your amygdalin arm looks like a normal club. Tricked out, becomes a scythe that does triple hits when you charge it up. That was one move. So, this weapon's pretty good on wreck. Can easily take out multiple enemies. Now, the next weapon is your Beast Claw, found in one of the Chalice dungeons. The only weapon to actually find in the Chalice dungeons. And when tricked out, makes your other arm into a Beast's Claw, as the weapon would suggest. Very fast moves, easy to stun lock someone, and very hard hitting moves when you need them to be. Now, without using it tricked, it's a bit slower, and you only use one hand. Now, the Cos Parasite, this is the reason I look like a mushroom. I kept the Milkweed rune on to show you guys this. If you're using Beast Claw while using the Beast Embrace Carol rune, then it works much better for your beasthood. But the reason I used this was to show you the Cos Parasite, which is the tentacle you get from killing Cos's orphan, or Cosm's orphan, whichever Mikolash wants you to say. And it's quite a good weapon. When it's tricked out, it gives you triple tentacles on both arms, so you do a lot more damage and you have a lot more combos with this, as well as it giving you an actual arcane weapon of explosion. damaging anyone around you. So that's the basics of all the melee weapons, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful in some aspects. And if you guys did like it, please like and subscribe and comment below on any thoughts. And thank you for watching. I'll be uploading each weapon individually for my next videos to showcase each weapon's attributes and how they work.